Hello folks, I'm redoing the Intro to Wix website builder. Looks like the other video file got corrupted on my computer, so we'll be starting from scratch and going through it. First we'll type in wix.com is the website builder that we are going to be using. It's pretty simple. It does a lot of the work for you with still allowing a decent amount of customization. So I'm going to go ahead and log out. And this should be the screen that you get when you type in wix.com. So we're going to go ahead and sign in. And it's already got my stuff filled in here. So if you don't have an account, just go ahead and create an account with the sign up button right here. And after you do that, just go ahead and log in. So these are my two previous sites that I've got going on this account right now. Since you won't have any, if this is your first website, we're going to go right up to this button right over here, create new site. We'll go ahead and click on that. And what kind of website do you want to create? Probably going to want to create a business if you're watching this video. So we'll go ahead and click on that. So these two options right here, let the Wix ADI create a website for you or create your website with a Wix editor. We're going to choose the one on the right. The one on the left will create a fully functioning website for you, but you lose a little bit of the control because it gives you a pretty well developed website, but you don't know how to manipulate it as well. So we're going to go ahead and choose this one, and this one will still create a pretty decent layout for your website. So at this point, we have a bunch of templates that we can choose from, and you've got a search bar right up here. So we're going to be making a skincare website with this one. So we'll go ahead and put in skincare right up here, and let's see what it gives us. Some lawn care in there, it's funny. I think I like this one. And you can go ahead and view this right here, and it'll take you to a mock-up of what it would look like if you decide that this is what you want. It looks like it's got a really simple front page, not too long. It's got the About Us page, and you can change all of this once you get into it as well. And it just has, yes, this one's pretty basic. We're gonna go ahead and bump out, and actually, just go right back to here. But if you did want that one, you would just click edit, and then it would bring you into the editor. Let's check out this one. Go ahead and close that other one. Keep my desktop organized. So this one's got a bit more. It's got the nice contact with your testimonial strip, your product strip. Your product pages, contact info. Let's see what else they got here. Soft aesthetics. This is also a really nice, simple plan. We'll go ahead and go with this one. So what we'll do is we go back here. This is the one I want. We're going to click edit. And I'll have to go ahead and close that other one right here. And so right now, it's creating the website for me with that template in mind and populating some other stuff, and as well as just loading. My internet's bogged down. We got some roommates working from home. There we are. So the biggest thing when you're learning how to build this website using Wix is to get a hold of the toolbars. So you got your tool, you got a left-hand toolbar, and you got this toolbar on top. So this toolbar on top, we'll just go through it. You got your save, your preview will it will take you to a version of your website that if you had published it and put it out there for everyone to see, what it would look like. To get feedback, you're not going to be able to use that until you start getting some customers or you pay somebody. You got your publish, which is when you're ready to go live, you're going to go ahead and publish that. That button's also over here on the top right. Your site history. So this is really useful for if you made a mistake, like a catastrophic mistake, and you deleted like a bunch of stuff on accident, you would go ahead and go to the site history, which we don't have any since we just created it, but we'll go ahead and save this. Make this Skin World. Save and continue. Let's go back to that. Continue to site history. And so right now it shows us, it's got 2 saves. I guess it automatically saved when we created it. And we just did our manual save right here. And you'll find a bunch of saves as you work on your project. And it'll have the times right there. So if you know that you messed up like after 4 o'clock on Thursday, the 22nd, then you can just go back before that time and click the one that you want to upload, and it'll revamp your entire site, and it'll still have your other saves. So if you're like, you know what, that wasn't actually that bad, then you can just jump right back to where your site was before you reverted it. We'll go ahead and close out of that. Or close out of that, we would just go to here. And then sometimes Wix will be opening up other tabs in your top. So it's nice to stay organized and close out the ones that you don't need anymore. Like I don't need that, and I don't need that. So I'm in the Wix editor right now. This is clearly your editor homepage for this specific website. And so you got your site. Where we go? You got your site history, your duplicate site, transfer site. So that's if you just wanted to make a copy of your website. Maybe you're designing another website of something very similar. A transfer site is you can send it to somebody else with a Wix account. And if you want to can your website, you can go to that, exit editor. It'll just take you back to your home page of your account with your websites that you have. Some of the settings are it's just settings for your website where you can go in and check out your social shares, your analytics, seeing where your exposure is coming from, who you're able to reach, roles and permissions for if you want to give other people more access to your website, your tech department, for instance, for constant updating, your marketing department for analytics purposes, your error 404 page down here. Hopefully you won't need that, but websites get broken all the time, so you can customize that by saying, letting people know that you're on it. Your tools over here, these are a little bit useful. So go ahead and throw on the ruler right there. And what that did is it brought up those little bars up here. And you typically want to leave it as the default. You don't want to shift anything, as people use a bunch of different monitors when they look at your website. And this ruler right here will fit pretty much any monitor that's still out there. Even going back to the big cubes from like the late 90s or early 2000s, this should display pretty well. You got your grid lines too, those are the verticals, and your horizontals right here where you're going to be keeping everything in between. And then the snap to objects is pretty nice because it allows this, it'll snap, so those purple lines that appear, that means that box is centered with the ruler. doesn't necessarily mean that the letters are centered. In dev mode, that's going to be if you have some really tech savvy people. They'll be combining, you know, like your application if you have one, external APIs and such like that. Here's your help if you need to reach out to Wix for anything. You connect your domain, and then of course they got the upgrade button, which you're eventually probably going to do, either with Wix or with somebody else. And we'll touch on the plans in a later video. On our left side toolbar over here, this is going to be a really important button. This is your pages, menu and pages button, where you will be able to navigate in your editor to the correct page you want. So for right now, so if we click on services, it'll bring up this menu page right here. And then to go to the services page, you would click on that and it would bring you down to this. And so the way that's linked right there is with, you can see this little image, this little anchor right here. This is considered an anchor line. And you can create anchor lines and then you can attach them to links. So if I clicked, let's go ahead and publish this. And then we can go view site. So that anchor line we just saw, what will happen is if you click on services, it'll bring us down to that specific anchor line. It's just loading real quick. So boom, that was, the anchor line was set like right about the top of this. And then if we clicked on specials, there's a different anchor line attached to that button. So this is the published version of our website right now. We'll go ahead and go back to the Wix editor. Go ahead and exit out of that. We'll hit up the mobile site some other time. And just a pre-word on that is you don't really want to spend any effort changing your mobile site until you have your main site, your desktop site, completely hashed out, because any change on the desktop site will affect the mobile site in unforeseen ways. Like sometimes words will be off the page, or all of a sudden you're super zoomed in on a picture on the mobile app. So until you have your main site pretty decently fleshed out, you don't want to mess with the mobile, because you're going to be wasting a lot of time as you have to go back through and redo a bunch of stuff as you continually change your desktop website. So we'll keep going back over here. Your background, this is going to be like the overall background of your website. So we'll go ahead and apply that to the home page. Actually, we'll apply that to all pages. Not quite sure why that's working. I might have to go back and check out what I'm doing. But the add button right here is going to be very useful. You're going to be using this one a lot. As you can see, it gives you a lot of options. And each one of these has even more options over here, and then even more over here. So your add button is going to be your bread and butter for spicing up your website. And so the next one is on the left side of your toolbar is your plugins. So we'll go ahead and add apps. And this is where you're going to really integrate with your social media accounts as well. You get your Facebook like pop-ups on your blog, for instance. You get some other events, forums, music, and as you can see, there's a bunch of things over here to help you manage your business as well. It's your form builders and payments, your Google ads, always going to be important. Go ahead and close out of that. And then your media. Interesting thing about media is if you pay for the Wix upgrades, they will give you anywhere from 20 to 50 gigs on the lower tier plans. And then above that, you can get substantially more, but you're going to mostly host, until you're at like the enterprise level, you're going to be mostly hosting your data somewhere else. So it wouldn't be It just depends how much you want to use it. So over here is going to be how you start your blog. It's definitely recommended to have some sort of blog ongoing for when you start off, because it helps with SEO, which is search engine optimization. This means that when someone types in your company name into Google, that you're going to appear higher up. And so these bottom three categories right here, the blogging, email marketing, and the bookings, these will not show up unless you chose this specific template. Most of the templates have these, and some of them have even more. Some of them don't. It all just depends what template you went with. And to get those, it is not too hard. You're going to want to go to the add button and look for, see if they have a blog in here. Yeah, so you would go to the blog right here, and you would go add to site, and then that would stick that little blogging button right there on your toolbar. And there's the bookings, and then there's your member management right there, and then you've got Google Maps that you can put in there, and PayPal buttons. So yeah, there's a lot of customization you can do. Not everything you add is going to have a little toolbar button on the left side. And so I think that about covers the basics of starting your own website. In my next video, we will be going over how to edit content. All right, see you around, folks.